Well, back on the 86. As you can see, we've got no back window in it because I took it out. It had a slider in it and the latch was broke and all the rubber was dry rotted and I had to paint the truck, so I took it out. I decided I wasn't going to put that one back in there. So today we're going to pretend we're window guys. So I'm thinking we'll just kind of ease into this. Let's do something I know I can do first. And we'll clean her up a little bit around this sill where this window is going to go. And there's something special about this window. I know I've never seen it in the wild before. It's going to be a frameless back glass. So you're not going to have any rubber or anything here. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and then we'll open this thing up and I'll show you what it comes with. Now, this right here is the back window. Ordered it from I think it's One Piece Glass. You know, they make the one piece glass for the side windows too, but I'm not really into that. But I did want the frameless back window on it. So I've had this for a couple months, actually. Well, more than a couple months. I just have been putting it off, haven't want to mess with that. You can tell I've already opened it up once before. We'll open her up again, see what we got in here. Oh, this tape, man, somebody taped this up good. Okay, so they give you inside the packaging, you get trim for the inside, because you still have to have some trim around that window on the inside. Otherwise, you're just going to be looking at bare metal. So you get your trim for that, and your urethane adhesive, and your window. And that's pretty much it. Like, no instructions or anything like that. So, I mean, I guess they just expect you to know how to do it, which it looks pretty straightforward. Now, I did look up a video on YouTube that was from like 10 years ago, and they kind of showed you how to do it. So that's what I'm going off of. And now I guess I'm going to make one on it. So maybe how I do it will help people out too. So here's what I've figured out so far. Obviously, I got to put these trim pieces on first. Well, if you can see, they give you a shorter one, and then there's a longer one. So there's two different sizes on this trim. And you two-piece it, because I'm guessing you got these sharp corners here. I imagine one runs the length of the bottom, and then the other one will probably run around the top where you can actually bend it around those curves right there. So let's try to put that on there and see if I'm right. Now I've got my short piece here, and I'm going to start running it along the bottom. And I mean, there's two ways you could put it. I don't know if you can see it. Look down the end of that. Put it this way or put it that way. And the only way it makes sense for me is to put it this way, to where this soft part of it's going to, the window contact that and push up against it. So I think that's how we're going to put it on there, because it's the only way that makes sense. So let's see if I was right, and if this is how they want you to do it, with the small piece on the bottom and the big piece on the top. Get that on, and we'll get around the other side. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Put it on there. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit long, but I imagine they just want you to cut that. They give you a little bit more to cut that to length. So we'll put that right there for the moment and then run this top piece around. Whew, we got this going our way. Just took a little bit of time. I've been test fitted it on here. You know, you've seen that. And then I've kind of started to start on that side, got it fitting right. And I've pretty much just about halfway over have glued this seal down with weather strip adhesive. I'll have to go pick some of that up. I got it. And I've been working around here and cut this side in. Now, this was a pain in the butt. I'm not very good at cutting weather stripping like this. If anybody knows what the proper tool would be to cut this that makes it easier, or not even the proper one, just one that makes it easier other than tin snips and like a razor knife, that would be super helpful. So now I just got a little bit more to go here. Put some of this weather strip adhesive in here. Get her on down here. Put a little bit in the weather stripping, and then put some up here on the metal itself. This stuff makes a mess. I'm telling you what, it will get everywhere. So getting this done. Got to put this on, let it tack up a little bit. While that's tacking up, let me bring you in here and I'll show you how I cut this corner over here. Well, you can see I started in this corner and I try to kind of cut this like a 45, you know, because it didn't look right just buttoning them up together. And then, you know, you're not going to see this. This is going to be under the glass anyway, but the inside is what I was worried about. If I can get in here to see it. There's not a whole lot of light, but you can see right in here I got her so she's fitting real nice, because that's the part you're going to see anyway. Now, when I was cutting the other side, though, man, it didn't turn out as hot. So after I get this all glued on, you'll be able to see that. All glued up. Got a little bit of tape there on the top one, you know, basically hold them corners tight and everything till the adhesive tacks up, because I don't want those falling. But you can kind of see over here at this corner, when I came over here to cut this, it didn't turn out so good, you know. But you're not going to see this outside part, so that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But this inside, I butchered her up pretty good. So I'll have to come up with some way to fix that and make it look a little bit better. But, you know, we can always fix our mistakes. It's not a big deal. I mean, you can come up with something. Okay, well, now I'm at the point where I needed to test fit this glass up in here and get it to where it's got a nice spaced even edge in this hole right here. So I have some tape already put up here on the truck. So I already got it there, and I'm going to have to pick it up and kind of hold it up there and maybe tape it up, move some things around, see what I can get, you know, see what kind of marks I can get on here, see if I can get her nice and even. And now I just got these super cheap little suction cup things. I think I bought them to like put a mirror up or something. I don't remember, but we're going to try and use these and hope they don't fail on us. So here we go. So far, so good. Let's get her sitting here. Look at her. Pretty tight on that side. Let's see what this side looks like. Yeah, when it moves this way a little bit. Definitely. It's a little bit more even there. You definitely need to go up. So let's see. Nope, definitely need to go up. There is not a lot of tolerance here for where it's going to hit. I'm going to try taping that up and seeing how that works. I feel like this is more of a two-man process here. Well, here we are. I got this sucker lined up and put me some pieces of tape on here that correspond with some pieces of tape on this window down here. And of course, I had to take the trim back off. Spent all that time putting that trim on. I had to take it back off to get it lined up. I don't think the window will go on with the trim on it. So I took it off, and hopefully it'll go back on after I get the window in. But we'll see. I got my urethane squeezed out on my back window, and I squeezed it out and put it real close to the edge because this thing barely grabs in some spots, and I didn't want to miss it. So now I got to do is line those tape lines back up and plop it in there. Well, back glass is installed. I know you didn't get to see me actually put it up in there because I had to get my better half out here to help me get it lined up. You know, she didn't want to be on camera, so. But you seen I had already had pieces of tape up here where I had centered it up. So all I did was have her look on this side, line up those pieces of tape, and I lined up the pieces of tape on this side so I could get it in there. And now I just ran these pieces of tape down to hold it so it wouldn't fall down while this urethane is setting up. Now this urethane, you're barely going to catch on these edges. So I brought it all the way out to the side, and I just let it squeeze out all along here because I would rather have too much squeezed out and clean it off than not have enough. And the best thing to clean it with that I've found, charcoal lighter fluid. Get you some charcoal lighter fluid, a bunch of paper towels or rags, and even some Q-tips. Work. Clean it all up around the edge. So that's how that process went. Now I've just got to let it sit up for a minute, and then I'm going to try putting this trim on in the inside and see how easy it goes back on. Here we go. This is what it's looking like on the inside now. You can see this is where the trim is going to go here. So I'm going to try to get that back up in there, which I think it's going to fit up just fine. So you can see there's a little bit, you got a gap here now because this is where the original rubber went for the back window. Now your window's back out a little ways. That's why you had to put these little weather stripping pieces in. So let's get those back on there and see what she looks like. Let's see. Let's do the bottom piece first. Put her back on there. Oh, just push it back on. Yeah, it seems to go back on just fine. No struggle. Get around here. This other side. Good. There's kind of a look at how it looks with that trim on there. Finishes off pretty nice, I think. Well, I think we got this thing looking pretty good. We went from this old beat up back glass with the rubber all over it, chrome coming off of it, to this nice new tinted frameless back glass. And man, does it look good. This is one of the things I wanted to do to this truck, to clean up the backside of it. Now, I know they make a front windshield for it, and they make the side glass in one piece to get rid of the vent windows, but I like the vent windows, and I don't like the way the frameless looks on the front windshield. I prefer to have the rubber up there. But I think I've actually completed one of my tasks right the first time. I didn't have to redo it. So there's that. But, looks like we've wrapped this up. So y'all stay tuned in, and we'll catch y'all next time.